Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all, and good afternoon to everyone assembled here. I understand lots of you are watching it online, so I think greetings to all of you. Okay, so because I know that I don't want you people to go hungry, so I'm requesting all of us have decided we will shut up our mouth in about 10-12 minutes so that by 1:30 everybody gets their lunch. That's more important. So professor's job is sometime to confuse you, sometime to clarify. But when we try to confuse, we clarify. When we try to clarify, we confuse. That is our birthright. So I will continue. So all that you will remember after my 10 minutes is 3 words. 3 little lines. One is no one knows. Second is nature and nurture. Third is we have many more tricks in our pockets. Okay? So these are the 3 things which I will do. First, no one knows. It's interesting, See, many of you think that AI is new and all, it is the latest fashion, etc., etc. But I want you to realize that, in English language, particularly in the business parlance, we use the term spring and winter in the following sense. When something is growing, we call it spring. When something is dwindling, we call it winter. 1969 was officially the winter for AI. So the AI actually grew in 50s, and by 69 we officially said AI was the winter. So I want you to know, part of the reason was the AI at that time did not have data. In that time, data was DA and TA. Somebody has to go to collect the data. So you have dearness allowance, travel allowance. That is how data was. But this fellow changed everything. Right? You don't go for data, but data is there. Second, you get the data where you are. You don't have to go. Third, you get the data whenever you want. So your WhatsApp message is there, but I'm not reading. But I read after my talk is over. Right? So you get the data where you want, you get the data when you want, you get the data wherever you are. That changed AI. So ChatGPT is happening because of that. Okay? So this is something which one of our good friends, I think, go and Google. There is a very interesting boy from Bangalore. He teaches a bright star, rising star in Wharton Business School in University of Pennsylvania. And he has a very interesting book on AI, very nice book. If possible, kind of go and read it. Okay? So I'm not giving the rest of it because there must be something for you to explore. Otherwise, what is the big point? Right? I'm not giving the name. Okay, just go and figure out. And he has used a very nice term called nature and nurture. See, for any plant to grow, you need a great seed that is called nature. But that is not sufficient. You need a great soil, you need water, you need sunlight, sometimes you need fertilizer, and so you also need a protection from cows and animals. All these things together make a seed into your plant. So you need nature and nurture. AI, nature is algorithms. So I am 72, old man, should be out of this place. But somehow Dr. Vass is very kind. He calls me, I keep coming and making some noise, right? What happens is that even the old guys can keep doing something because of something else. So what is really happening is the nature and nurture together gives a new way of looking at AI. So many of the algorithms which you study today in AI courses are all algorithms which we guys wrote in 50s and 60s. They're all old. But data is the nurture. So algorithms is the nature, data is the nurture. And that is why AI is happening. So I just want you to keep this in mind. Okay? The second one, no one knows. Okay, I will again tell you something interesting. Go back to history about 2 centuries back. There is a little place in England, and there was one person called James Watt. He created something called, what? What did James Watt manage to create? Steam engine. How many of you have seen a steam engine? Not many of you, right? But steam engine still powers many, many things. Possibly you don't realize. If you go to the factories, they're all buried inside, so you don't see that. But steam engine is an important part of human growth. And from England, you go to the east, you go to a country called Germany. And there was one person, so for most of you, diesel is the name of the fuel. But we are all the old guys, so we know that it was the name of a gentleman. His name was Mr. Rudolf Diesel. Okay, he invented what is called an internal combustion engine. And then go cross the Atlantic, go west, go to the United States, you find somebody who at that time was living in a place, but now it is called Edison. Thomas Alva Edison, so he created electricity. But what happened is steam engine, diesel engine and electricity changed the world completely. There was a time when people had to set up their houses, they wanted water. What they did? They went near the river. Delhi near Yamuna, Kashi near Ganga, Thames, London near Thames, Chicago near Chicago River. That is how civilization was. But what happened was when you had the engine, you had the motor, and then you had electricity, you could actually take water wherever you want. So you could actually have civilizations away from the rivers. You could transport people across, you could send people across the sea, you could send people to over the air, all transportation changed. So what we assume that many things happening, all happened because of these 3 things. And people are watching this from all over the world. How is it possible? Because of communication revolution. And this would not have been possible without electricity. Okay? So if you get a chance to go and get, Dr. Watts is an amazing person. I don't know what are the things he will do. Maybe one of the days he will manage to get Mr. Watts, okay, James Watt, Rudolf Diesel, and Alva Edison also into this campus. But if all 3 come, you ask them, would they have predicted Chandrayaan 3? Obviously not. Right? It takes a couple of centuries for things to evolve. And that evolution, nobody can predict. So similarly, at this point in time, you get excited with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is nice, I'll talk about it. But I think there's we're still scratching the surface. It will take a long time to grow. So AI will grow over next several decades, if not centuries, to things which we don't know. Just as Edison or Watt or Diesel would not have predicted. Today we do robotic surgery. Right? We do surgery using robots. Nobody would have predicted. So in one line, something very interesting. See, many of us call ourselves engineer. And the profession we belong to is called engineering. That did not exist. So similarly, I for sure think AI will not be called AI. It is too artificial and too dumb to be called either intelligent. Okay? So what it will be, I don't know. I don't think Edison would have actually predicted engineering. It just happens. So the bottom line is, no one knows. Right? So we are still at a very, very early stage, but exciting time. Okay? And the last thing. So many of you keep asking, sir, ChatGPT does something, it writes program for me, it writes essays for me, it writes email for me, etc., etc. But, it's kind of nice, but don't get overly excited because there is much more that is going to happen. You see, internet for many of us have been around since, in some sense, 70s and 80s. But something happened around mid-90s. In fact, my good friend Uday would know, there was a company called Cisco, which kind of managed to get it. So essentially, and then of course, there is a person by name, go and discover this person, Sir Tim Berners-Lee. Note down, Sir Tim Berners-Lee. He created an architecture called WWW. What WWW or the web did was that it made internet available to everyone. You click a button, it opens up an email. You click another button, it plays music. You click another button, it plays video. That magic happened through WWW. So what happens is, in the evolution of technology, some such thing changes everything else. Even the so-called, within AI, there is something called generative AI. Go and discover why it is called generative AI. This is a homework for you. But ChatGPT 3 represents generative AI. ChatGPT 1 did not have enough data. ChatGPT 2 did not have enough data. ChatGPT 3 had enough data. So November 1, 2022 became a watershed year, because ChatGPT 3 was available to you and me. How many of you have not used GPT-3? Anybody? Okay, good. So they are not supposed to be in this hall, right? Everybody has used GPT-3. Okay? So that is the beauty, but still, remember, it is only a small part. Okay? Let me kind of conclude just to kind of tell you why we the professors and you the students, some of you will also become professors, we have worked for a long, long time. Okay? What you don't realize is the entire so-called IT revolution, computer revolution, this country, we talk about it, 4.5 million people getting jobs, the Infosys of the world, the Wipros of the world, HCL of the world, we call ourselves IT superpower, Bangalore calls itself IT capital of India. Okay? And we became $1 trillion industry. Just for you, the students, for a long, long time, there were only two industries which were $1 trillion industries. One was automotive, second was oil. IT industry was the third to become $1 trillion industry. In fact, there is one company called Apple, which has $1 trillion market capitalization today. Okay? But what happened was, all these things happened over a period of time. Right? But what we expect is, in the next few years, a lot more things will happen. The reason is very simple. What is behind the entire IT revolution? It is what is called numeric ability. So somewhere around 1840, some unusual engineer made computers to do arithmetic, add numbers. His name is Hollerith. Nobody talks about him much. Anyway, but what happened, we taught the machine how to do numeric ability. Then from there we added a little more. A company called IBM made it into a nice payroll machine. And then another company made it into what is called inventory control machine, or a store accounting machine. And then we kind of made it to do banking, finance, trading, computer reservation, e-commerce, etc. But all these things use simply one ability called numeric ability. It is not full mathematical ability. Lots of mathematics computers can't do. It does numeric mathematics. Just doing numeric mathematics, we are able to do so much. ChatGPT and generative API uses linguistic ability. Linguistic ability is more powerful than numeric ability. How do you know that I am alive? I speak. If I don't speak, you think I am dead, right? So if you don't speak, what terrible life will be, right? We are all so nice because I am able to speak, you are able to hear. So linguistic ability is nice, but don't think that humans are very smart people, right? So sometimes when I speak, Dr. Abbas smiles, sometimes he does not smile. And that ability is a phenomenally deep ability. When will the computers come to learn? Maybe 3 centuries later. Right? We have so many things. So we have a bag full of tricks. We have released only 2 tricks. numeric ability, linguistic ability. We have lots of them. That's the reason professors have enough job, students have enough job. Some of you becoming a professor, you have enough job. Some of you becoming a professor and teaching some student, they also have enough jobs. Just don't worry. Okay? So that is where I will leave here. Thank you.